Blender Game Engine. One of the standout features of Blender 2.79 was the inclusion of the Blender Game Engine. This engine allowed developers to create simple games directly inside Blender without exporting to external engines. However, it was relatively basic and is now discontinued. Blender removed the BG in version 2.80. It was suitable for prototyping small games or interactive applications, but not for professional, large-scale game development. While Blender 2.79 is no longer ideal for most game development workflows, there might still be niche scenarios where using it could make sense. Older systems. If you're working on older hardware that struggles with newer Blender versions, 2.79 might perform better. Familiarity. Longtime Blender users who are already comfortable with 2.79 might choose to stick with it for simpler, non-intensive projects. Legacy projects. If you're working on an older project that was created in Blender 2.79, you may prefer to stick with the same version to avoid compatibility issues. Blender 2.79's game engine offered a visual logic brick system to manage game mechanics, physics, and player controls without needing extensive programming knowledge. It worked in three main parts: sensors. These detect events and trigger specific actions. Controllers. Logic gates that determine the outcome of a sensor's input. Actuators. They execute the actions triggered by the sensors and controllers, such as moving objects, playing animations, or changing scenes. Blender 2.79's game engine featured a built-in physics engine, which supported real-time physics simulation. You could easily add realistic gravity, collision detection, and rigid body dynamics to your game. This is ideal for creating games with basic interaction physics, such as platformers or puzzle games that require object manipulation and gravity-based movement. Blender 2.79's game-making capabilities are outdated and not recommended for modern game development. However, Blender-specifically newer versions remains an essential tool for creating game assets, which can then be used in more modern game engines.